Hey guys, George at SoundTraxx here, and today we're going to talk a little bit about how to set up the Tsunami2 to match the model that you've installed it into. So let's get started. Now first off, after you've already selected the decoder to put into it, you're already going to have selected the family. Example, this O-Scale RS3, we're using our TSU 4400 for ALCOs. Now once you select this, you're going to go to our website at SoundTraxx.com and you're going to go to the Manuals tab, and under the Tsunami2 diesel documentation, you're going to see a list for the ALCO sound selection reference chart. Now this is going to give you a list of all of the horns, all of the bells, all of the prime movers and so forth that are preloaded into the ALCO decoder so that you can match any ALCO model that you've selected. So first off, we're going to take this model and we're going to apply our track power. So now once the track power is applied, we're going to take a look at our list, and we're going to see one of the first things that we want to check is the prime mover. Now this is an ALCO RS3. Now the locomotive was equipped with an ALCO 244 engine. An interesting little side note, the ALCO numbering system was not based on anything to do with the locomotive itself or the diesel engine. It was actually a date that that diesel engine was developed. So for example, the ALCO 539 was developed in May of 1939. The 244 was February of 1944. And of course the 251 was developed in February of 1951. But anyway, looking at our list, we're going to go ahead and we've determined this is an RS3 and it is equipped with an ALCO 244. Now we can look this up online or use many of the many references that we have on our website at SoundTraxx.com to help you select the right diesel engine. You can check the link in the description below. So first thing, we're going to take CV123. We're going to go to our list and we're going to go through and we're going to find out that that ALCO 244 turbo is actually CV123 value to 2. So we're going to go ahead and set that now. You'll hear the prime mover start back up. You'll hear the alarm bell. So now you'll actually hear that ALCO 244 sound. Now the next thing we want to do is check out which horn we want to use. Now the default value on this is the K3LA by Nathan, which if looking at this locomotive, you see that it has a single note, single chime air horn. And so we want to go through the list and find out which one. Now we also have a link in the description below where you can find a list of different air horn sounds that are used by different railroads. But on a lot of the early stuff, it was just a single note. So looking at our list here, we're going to pick a Leslie A125. So CV120 is where we select the air horn. So we're going to take CV120 and we're going to set it to a value of 18. So now when I blow my horn, you hear that single note. Let's say you don't really like that one. Let's go ahead and select the A200. So now we're going to change CV120 to a value of 21. And you can hear how that air horn has changed. Now there's a couple of different other options on here. For example, the WABCO E2 is option number 33. So we're going to take CV120 and set it to a value of 33. And you can hear a slight variation in that horn, but it is different. So you can go through and select which air horn is best for the model that you've installed it in. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at a list of bells and which bell we're going to choose. So looking at the list, we can see that the ALCO number 3 bell is the default bell. So let's take a listen. And that's a medium fast ring rate, and you can hear that ALCO bell. But let's say, for example, we want to change this. We look at our list and you're going to see the different bells. So there's ALCO 1, ALCO 2, and ALCO 3. And you're going to see a range listed next to each of them. Now this range is the same bell recorded at different ring rates to help simulate from a hand rung bell all the way up to a fast air rung bell. So for example, let's take ALCO 1 and we're going to take CV122, which is where our bell selection is done. We're going to set it to a value of 0. So you can kind of hear how you have a different bell, but it's a very slow ring rate. So let's take CV122 now, and let's set it to a pretty fast ring rate here. So let's set it to a value of 3. And you can hear how that bell sound has changed quite a bit, and you hear a faster ring rate. So you can go through the list and pick a bell that works best for the prototype or the model that you've installed, or you can even pick one that you like the best. Now there are other sounds that you can go through and select. For example, the air compressor. You have 4 different air compressors to choose from, including its regular EMD shaft-driven, an engine-driven compressor, or a couple of GE whooping type. One of the other ones that we just heard right there is the Poppet valve or the air dryer. Now that was the air dryer sound that you hear. This locomotive is much too old to be equipped with an air dryer, so we're going to go ahead and change, in this case CV125. We're going to change this to a value of 0 to select the Poppet valve. So now when you hear that air dryer air blow off when it's removing moisture out of the air, you'll hear that sound that would be proper for this type of locomotive. Now with many of these selections, you can customize the decoder to match pretty much any model that's in there. For example, our Steam decoder has all of the sounds in there. You don't have to worry about the family of manufacturer that the decoder is. The Steam has all of those sounds pre-programmed in. So you're going to go through a very similar process to select the sounds. Now for these detailed information on how to set this, go to our website at SoundTraxx.com and download the user's guide, and it'll talk about sound selection. And in that section of manuals on our website, you'll also see the sound selection reference for our Steam, our 5 diesel flavors, and the electric, so you can set those decoders to match the model that you've installed them in.